right, mate?
How
are we
I can't
doing?
really hear you because I'm
Can you
muffled.
hear me?
I'm muffled.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good
How you
these.
doing, all right?
Good these.
Might just take it off because it's you're going for the dots up, right?
Dots up.
Yeah,
Dots up.
dots up. Got to be dots up, I think.
Dots up. Oh, hot them, aren't they?
They're a bit hot, yeah.
A bit of initiative though, that.
They're comfy. Yeah, like obviously they're mandatory on public transport and stuff now, so just thought it'd be a good way for people to like squash community to come together, and like obviously it's very symbolic of squash, walking around with the old 2 yellow dots on there. So yeah, it's good, and you know, raising some money for the foundation, the We Are One fund. So hopefully you know, people keep buying it and the money goes to sort of helping the players that are struggling at the moment. But I mean, you know about that. I just saw you on the board now, aren't you, for foundation?
Yeah, both board members now. You're board member of the PSA. I'm board member of the foundation. So together we're going to affect meaningful change.
Let's hope so.
Whatever that means. I just thought that's good.
Let's hope so. Like we both love our squash. You know, like we're constantly trying to do positive things. So let's hope we can both make a difference in our roles.
It's your third favourite sport, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and I love my sport.
That's big praise. That squash is your third favourite out of all the sports there could be.
Yeah, I know. That's high up there. There's a lot of. How many sports are there, do you reckon? Official sports.
Official.
Yeah, I mean that's not one of my questions.
Olympic. It depends if you mean Olympic or Olympic official. You could be. I don't know. Anything can be classed as a sport, couldn't it? Squash is definitely one of them.
Well, yeah, but like, do you class is darts a sport for you, or is it a game?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You can go down that route. I was thinking more, you know, I've seen something the other day where you can have a boxing glove on your left hand or, you know, on your non-playing hand at squash. Have you seen that? And you can literally hit your shot and boom, hit them. So that was where I was thinking, is that a sport?
Boxing.
Squash boxing, is that a sport?
Should be. Have you seen the video of it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'll be any good at that.
That's actually one of the questions I had from one of the followers on YouTube on Instagram yesterday was, who do you think would win in a boxing match between us two? And I was like thinking,
depends if I could keep you at arm's length.
Your arm's about 3 meters long. I don't think I could get anywhere near you.
You're at length with the jab. If you got on the inside, I'd be struggling, I think.
I'd just be ducking and diving.
So we got today. So we've done a full series. We've done 7 episodes. This is episode 8. It's been good fun, hasn't it?
Great really fun. Yeah, when we first started, obviously you never know how this sort of stuff goes. But the first couple of episodes, I think I was not nervous, but like a little bit unsure of how the best way of jumping in with questions or not jumping in and all that type of thing, and speaking, you know, best ways of speaking to people. But I think as it's gone on, you know, we've found a good format that hopefully flows and people enjoy.
Yeah, your internet didn't help in episode 1, did it? That probably didn't help you jumping in.
It's a stitch up. I've had a word with the boss of the house, and we've
you've had a word with the IT department.
Yeah, we just had realised we had 18 different devices that were connected to the internet, so I've chopped a few of them off.
Good. So today we're doing it slightly different, aren't we? Where we're going head to head a little bit. So
yeah.
Versus the wolf.
I've got some good questions for you, I think. But I think we should sort of keep chatting anyway. Shouldn't just have to.
No.
I mean, I want to grill you, but I just obviously want to.
Of course.
Get to know the man behind the 3-time world champion.
The man behind the mask.
Yes. Look at that. Full of cliches.
Are you started training yet, Daryl? Come on, because one thing that's been a bit of a running theme through this series is you, like, basically being so busy and and I'm trying to motivate you now. I feel like it's my purpose on this show is to weekly give you an update and try.
Well, you're doing a terrible job because no, I'm not.
But I saw you were eating healthily though on Insta. You got some.
Yeah. That's what's keeping the weight off, to be honest. But training wise, no, I've not really been doing anything.
You know what you need? You need somebody to tell you that you're done, you're past it, you're never going to get back to the top again or something like that. And I think that knowing now what makes you tick, that will probably motivate you to train, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to send in your comments on Twitter, Instagram, whatever you like, really. If anyone would like to set me some sort of challenge, then I'll be keen for that. If there's money involved, I'm always keen for.
Yeah, I personally think you're passing it now, mate. I think, yeah, you're not going to get back in that top 20 anymore again, top 16. I think your time's gone, to be honest.
What? Thanks, mate. Appreciate that.
You just end the show and go out and train now. Is that motivation?
I was just trying to find somewhere to do some press ups, actually, but.
Oh no, that reminded me. I'm doing a press up challenge this month, and I'm about 3 days behind. Keep forgetting.
Don't get behind in a press up challenge. Trust me, I have experience in it.
Harder as the month goes on as well.
What are you doing? 30 and 30?
It's like a 30-day challenge. Each day is just a different random number, and then the last day you just got to do 50 non-stop.
50 non-stop. Can you do that?
I can do about 35 at the moment non-stop.
Yeah. Press ups, good old press ups. I did 50,000 in a year once. You know that, don't you?
Remember that? Yeah. Didn't you do chins one year as well?
Yeah, I lasted about a month. Couldn't do any. I did it with Pilly and Chris Hansen and Creedy, and I think Pilly actually, like Chris and Creedy were good anyway. I think Pilly got from like being awful to actually being able to do like sets of 8, 10, something like that. You can definitely improve. Like by the end of my press ups, I could do 100 in a row.
Really?
Without stopping, yeah.
That's
so
good.
That was after a year of doing 137 every day.
Is that what it averaged out to?
That's what it averaged out. And that's the thing. If you miss a couple of days,
yeah,
then you get like you ease straight away like 300-400 behind. That's
how did you keep track of that?
Just in my notes of my phone.
Yeah, just woof.
Nothing interesting.
Talking to Pilly, he did have a question actually that he sent in, and
didn't send me anything.
I know that you did your comments from the couch. I know that will come back at some point, but will there ever be a boy born that can swim faster than a shark?
We all know that's going to happen. It's going to happen at some point.
It will happen.
Yeah, it will happen.
It will happen.
Yeah, we also had it. I mean, me and Pilly have had this debate before many times, but he actually thinks that within the next 50 years, actually it's probably 48 years now, he's claiming it's within the lifetime, but either way, he thinks that you will be able to send a smell, an actual smell through your phone. So not like a generic smell. He thinks that you could get a smell, say you sort of farted and you could get that exact fart smell through the phone, send it to someone else. Do you think that could happen?
Probably not.
No, probably not. There we go. Pilly. Don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to go no with that one.
Yeah, go no. All right, should we get this cracking?
Let's do it.
Just a second. Yeah. I've lost my headphones, so I'm hoping my sound's all right.
You can hear me. Who's going to go first? Who's grilling who first?
Don't mind. You want to go first? You want to go second?
First, then. Or as in I ask you first?
Is that what you meant?
Yeah, I'll ask you. Daryl, welcome. Welcome to the show.
Oh, you give me an intro as well?
Yeah, 100%.
All right.
So, I would say, good, great career so far. Top 10, world number 9, highest ranking.
Yeah. Good stats.
Top 10. British national champion 2011.
Remember that one?
Beat some idiot in the final.
You got revenge over me a few times, but
but probably, and then world team champion with England, Commonwealth Games medalist.
Yes.
I know you've still got things ahead of you, but good things. It's always nice, isn't it? Like if you have that little sign off, kind of, when you do retire and you're introduced to someone will introduce you as that, decent little resume there. Yeah,
like as when I started a university, when I finished university, my main goal was to get in the top 10. Like that was my goal, was to be in the top 10 players in the world, as something that I thought was really tough to achieve, but for me achievable. So obviously getting to number 9 was a good moment. Very, very tough to get in the top 8 in the old days, because even now the way the seedings work, like I just hung around 9 and 10 for a little while, and I just couldn't. You can make breakthroughs like getting through to quarters and semis of like COC and Hong Kong and whatever, but it's doing it every single tournament, whereas the top 8 seeds would obviously get seeded to, you make some breakthroughs, you don't quite do it. I think I had a chance to go top 8, and that was British Open end of the season, which was, I can't remember what year it was, but I ended up drawing, I was like 9 in the world, I think, and I ended up drawing Rami first round.
Was that the O2 one?
At the O2 one, yeah. And if I'd made one more, I think if I'd made one more round, was it 2012? Yeah, if I'd made one more round, like got past the first round, I think I would have gone top 8, and then I could have obviously maybe stayed there, which would have been, once you get top 8 and you're seeded, then you can have a chance to kick in on a little bit.
You were playing very, very well. Would you say that was best part of your career? Because Rami didn't remember that match, did he?
Not surprised. He only got out of bed about 5 minutes before that.
I remember watching it and thought, well, if you nick this game, you get interest in it. You nearly took it to 5, didn't you?
I had game ball in the 4th to take it to 5. Yeah, I think I lost 14-12 in the 4th.
That 5th would have been interesting there.
Yeah, but I think probably the thing was that when I was playing then, I think I was physically at my best, like 11, 12, 13. So therefore, my squash has gradually improved, I think. But I think I was able to be a lot more solid then because I was probably physically at my best.
I mean, your shots. I mean, you've got this reputation as the shot of the month king. Where did that? We'll start with squash. So just go back a step, because I was going to ask you to start with, if you were on Mastermind, and you had to pick 3 top. I want to see how accurate I am because we've known each other quite a long time.
Yeah, long time.
If you had 3 topics on Mastermind, what would they be? I'm presuming squash would be one of them.
Well, after doing Mugs quiz and not doing great on squash, I'm not sure it would be. I mean, I love my football. I'd probably have to go Premier League. Like 92 onwards, obviously, as someone born 82, from when I was like 10 years old, basically, like memories-wise, I'd definitely go Premier League. I mean, sport really is like, that's all I grew up doing was some form of sport. So my interest in other things, I have read a fair bit, but I wouldn't say, I'm trying to think of what other actually you would class as specialist subjects. I mean, I had a good education. I should probably know more than I actually do. But
well, if it helps, you narrow it down. I went for 3 sport-related topic segments.
Did you?
So I went Liverpool, not Premier League, as number 1.
Oh, what for me? Yeah,
big Liverpool fan.
Yeah, big Liverpool fan. Yeah, I have been. I mean, as essentially, as I've said to people before, like a 3 or 4 year old glory hunter. Like they were on TV back in the day. That was the only team that was on television, really. So I think because I loved football from a very young age, I think that was the only team to watch, and therefore that was the team I wanted to win, the red team.
Are you kids Liverpool fans?
Yeah, forced to. Although Harrison has been given a Manchester United kit by one of his friend's dads from school, and now he wears it non-stop just to wind me up. Yeah,
I've heard that before.
Yeah, so he's not in the good books at the moment, but he does have Liverpool kits, which he does wear sometimes. But I took Noah to Anfield for the first time at Christmas to watch the Wolves game, just to give him a taste of the atmosphere. But I've been lucky enough. Been at some really good Liverpool games, like the 2001 FA Cup final. Don't know if you remember that. That was at Millennium Stadium.
That the Gerrard one?
No, that was the West Ham one. It was later. It was the Owen one against Arsenal.
Yeah.
I was at that one, and then I was.
When you got a big Champions League one?
Was it the Barca one last year? Yeah, the 4-0.
They came back. I was going to ask you. So I'll come back to the squash in a bit. Let's go on to that. So I was going to ask you. Best match you've been to. That match must have been unreal.
It's hard to explain the emotion of it. Like just the thought of, like when you looked at the team sheet before, we had no chance. We were missing Salah and Firmino, and we needed to beat Barca 4-0. Like what? We had no chance really. the atmosphere beforehand was amazing, and yeah, just the way the goals went in as well.
That last one with the corner, Alexander Arnold, that was epic.
Barely anyone saw that around me, you know, live, because the way like in the crowd, like people like turn around and they're giving it this and come on and all that. And because we just got a corner, we're 3-0 up. The crowd's going crazy and the momentum's going. And it was like, can't remember how the corner came about, but like everyone's turning around, come on, looking around. And because Alexander Arnold's thought process was so much quicker, not everyone was watching. So like I managed to see it, but the guy I was with, the guy on the other side of me, neither of them actually saw the goal. Really, they saw like the last bit of the ball going in the net. They didn't.
Well, there's normally a bit of downtime, isn't there, after a corner? You know, you kind of walk away, you plan the run.
Yeah.
He stepped back from the ball and then went again, didn't he?
Yeah. So
Amazing.
yeah, loving watching him at the moment. Great manager.
Great manager. You'd love to play for him, wouldn't you? You know, I'm obviously going into the coaching route now, and just that character. You know, you see the difference now. When Mourinho first came, he had that charisma, and then now he just seems like he's just so miserable all the time, whereas Klopp just seems like you'd want to go into training, wouldn't you, every day?
Yeah, I mean the players at the moment must be fuming they can't hug him just because they haven't seen him.
I want to hug him. I'm not even
I'd be missing his hugs as well. I'd be like, what, come on, just give us a cheeky hug.
Do you? Or
yeah, I'd want a hug from Klopp.
Yeah. Who's your favourite ever Liverpool player?
Do you know what, I'll probably say Robbie Fowler.
Robbie Fowler, God, wasn't
he? He at the time, yeah. When I was growing up playing football, he was one of my. I got the old nose thing.
Oh yeah, did they work?
No, not at all. I wore it all the time for when I played. I mean, I was the only one wearing it, but that's how much I loved Robbie Fowler. Just I even took all the abuse from centre backs for wearing it. But
and current player
for Liverpool player,
yeah.
It's such a tough one at the moment. Like I have so much love for so many of our players.
Come on, pick one. You've sat on the fence this whole series, so get off the fence. Come on.
Henderson.
I would not have called that.
Yeah, Henderson definitely. Actually,
really?
we've got we've got so many talented players in their own right. But
what the glue is he?
What Henderson has done, like think of where he's come from, and think of just the energy that someone can bring to a team, the commitment, the desire. Like what I would love, you know, talking about coaching, the one thing that I have to go on about, and there's one thing that I haven't always done off the court, but definitely have done on the court, is give 100%. Like give everything I've got all of the time. And Henderson does that in the best possible way. And in a team environment, you cannot underestimate how important that is to a team when they're not playing great that day, or they're not, you know, stuff's not working. If Henderson's not in the team, it just doesn't work. At the moment, he's got himself to a point where he's the driving force behind everything. He's fit, he's athletic, he gets up and down, he's loud, he's like captain fantastic in my opinion. In not a classic, you know, like not a classic Liverpool way, but
100%. He's a chip off the old block at the minute, isn't he? Of Gerrard, really, in a way. He's never going to get forward and score the same goals kind of thing, but you know, there's a reason he got handed the armband, I think, after Gerrard.
Yeah, after watching Stevie, really, growing up watching him play. Yeah.
All right, so back onto squash.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask you about the trick shots, but let's have a quick look at a couple of them. You just unfortunately got voted out of shot of the season, didn't you? Kanja just picked you on the post, is that right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm always secretly keen to win these things, obviously, but you know, there's some shots I would I would put myself forward for more than maybe the one that was chosen for it. There tends to be my shots of the month or whatever it might be tend to be when I'm sort of blowing a little bit, to be honest, these days.
In that.
And as you can see, this is like middle of the third game against Paul on the St George's Court where he's almost unplayable. Yeah, that was a little bit of desperation, to be honest, but it came out nicely. And the thing is, I try to play different shots, so it's not like I'm I try to experiment with different shots. I can't say I've played that shot that much, a cross-court drop forehand from the back, backhand from the back, yeah. But I just enjoy, trying to entertain people, really. Like, it's part of it for me now. Like, a lot of the pressure, I don't know, and I'll ask you about this later, but obviously when you feel like you've achieved everything you can achieve and you get to a point where you're not a realistic contender for, or realistically going to get a higher ranking than you've ever got, realistically achieve any more than you've already done, there's a certain pressure that comes off, and the sort of desire to entertain people is really like high on my priority list when I step on court.
Because I've seen you posted a few videos. You went to Centre Parks and you had a bit of an audience going past where you had the camera at the front just practicing your trick shots. It's obviously something you practice.
Yeah.
Solos or... Yeah,
not loads and loads and loads, but because I don't hit that many balls and I don't do that many solos. But when I do a solo, and I think this comes from a personality thing in that I don't enjoy just hitting straight drives up and down the wall anymore. Like I enjoy the trying new things and trying to hit new shots, and if it doesn't work,
fire burning, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It keeps it interesting for me.
From Rob Downer, a bit of a cheeky question here. He's asked, why are your drop shots through your legs better than your normal ones?
That is a good question. I've often wondered that.
I'm looking forward to you playing Rob next time now, just after that question.
I love Rob. He's a good guy. It's a good question, and he's probably right, to be honest. I think there's so much that has to happen when you're hitting stuff behind the back and through the legs that it's, I don't know, maybe sometimes with a drop shot, when it sits up, you have so much time to think about what you're doing. It's actually worse. When you have no time to think about it, your reactions and stuff like take over, and it's, I don't know.
Well, I used to think you were at your most dangerous. You talk about that kind of letting go feeling and no pressure. I used to feel like when we were playing and you were at your most dangerous when you were down, because in my eyes, you then actually just relaxed and let the arm go, probably the mind go. And, if you were 2-love, 5-2 down or something, it was kind of like, that was for me, I used to get really edgy at that point because I knew that was when you were at your most dangerous, and you had a habit of coming back from those positions as well.
Yeah. It's funny, like, I don't know how it changes, momentum changes when you play, but I sometimes feel that when I've played before, and people can get edgy from such a dominant position, and it just switches. And then for me, like, that's just a door that opens that I try and walk through, really, like just a little chink, and I'm like, oh, okay, pressure's not on me at all here. Pressure's all on them.
Well, if as a coach, I'd be saying to the player, even if they were 2-love up and you came back and won the third, and say they were up in the third and you came back, I'd still be saying, look, at the start of the match, you signed for being 2-1 up here.
Yeah.
But it's funny, when you're the one on the court, you're feeling the pressure, yet you're 2-1 up, and I think you thrived on those.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a couple of good stories of that. Like Nicky Muller will remember one, and Greg Marsh will remember another one. I think Nicky Muller, I was playing in Grasshopper. I was 2-1 down, 6-1 down, won the fourth, and I was 8-love down in the fifth.
Whoa.
And won 11-9. Wow. Yeah, and he was not happy about that. And I think another one, I was playing French League finals against Greg Marsh, 2-2. I think I was 9-love down in the fifth. Got back to 5-9, then he won another point to go 10-5, and then I got back and won 12-10. Wow. So from those types of positions, like it can be done. Just never give up, and that's what I'm talking about, giving 100%.
You touched upon it at the start. You had a slightly different route into professional squash, which is becoming more and more. You've seen the likes of Ali Farag, Amanda Sobey go to university in the States, and then go on to great in the middle of hopefully great careers for them. You went to Loughborough and didn't go pro until 22?
Nearly, I was coming up for 22. Yeah, I was 21 still, but yeah.
I think that's a great story personally, because it shows people that you don't have to put all your eggs in that one basket.
No, absolutely. The difference now between university compared with when I was there was that I literally just didn't really play any squash at university. Whereas now, the universities, especially in the States.
Which is even more impressive, though, in a way, that you came from that to where you are in your career.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good junior career, so I was there or thereabouts, you know, in terms of like world rankings juniors. But I loved my football so much, and university life like basically took over. I loved being at uni. Had a great time at Loughborough. Played squash once a week, just because it was nice to keep your eye in, but not more than that. And I wasn't doing any squash training for 3 years. And then
didn't play the books or anything.
What's that?
Didn't play the books or anything. The team.
Yeah, I won it. Yeah, that's the only reason I really carried on playing, because I was actually on a sports scholarship for squash, so I
had to play a bit.
Playing. I had to carry on playing a bit, but I didn't really train. But then I was playing football 4 times a week, training twice a week, 2 matches. So I was still, wasn't like.
You played football to a good level, didn't you? You and Peter Barker in the English schools team at one point.
Yeah, played. We played the final of the national schools at Filbert Street against Queggs Blackburn, who were good. Well, we lost 2-1. I scored a penalty and hit the bar, but we ended up losing 2-1. We battered them and lost 2-1, which was devastating, because that would have been nice to have won it. But Pete was in the team. Pete actually won it the year after with the same team from Brentwood.
What position do you play? Centre mid?
Striker.
Where did Pete play? Left wing?
Yeah, left wing. He played centre mid after, but he's left footed. So yeah, very good.
So squash career highlight.
Highlight. I'm a team player. Like that 2013 World Team Champs in Malouse was the best week for me of my career. You were there. You know how much stuff went on behind the scenes, and you know, just all the little bits, and beating France in our own backyard and beating Egypt in the final. So many stories. Jimbo avenging his loss from 2011 in Paderborn to Darwish in the last match. Like you having 2 monster match, or the monster match with Gaultier, and me personally, obviously winning the first match of the final and playing. That was the best match
you've ever played. You think that's the best played? Because you're amazing. I mean, go from your side of things. The night before, you started warming up at 1:15 in the morning for a match you didn't end up having, to then mentally reset and play the next day.
Looking back, it's phenomenal. Like I was warming up and it was 1:44. I remember looking on.
1:45.
Yeah, it was that 1:45. It was, because it was just, that's how long the matches have gone on for. You play for like more than 2 hours, 2 hours 15 or whatever. I didn't think we started till maybe 9ish, because the other match had run late. So warming up at 1:45. Ended up not having to play Castagnet, which was a massive plus, because obviously I knew if we won, which we did, I was going to be on first the next day. So to go from playing last to then playing first was a huge disadvantage, and it's just the way the draw worked out. So if Jimbo had lost or you had lost, then I would have been playing a decider. Wouldn't have got off court definitely with Castagnet until at least 3 o'clock. And if we'd won, then I would have been back on court. The final was at 1 o'clock the next day.
I mean, it was definitely, and you know, you'd be one of the first names. You know, that team with James, and you know, I've played in the England teams with Peter Nicol and Lee Beach, you know, some of the earlier generation. But that team, I think, was probably the best environment I played in. You know, it was amazing, and you know, we'd have all put each other on the deciders, wouldn't we? Probably.
Yeah,
which the
100%. But yeah, no, it was. I was obviously watching you guys the night before, not playing. Obviously delighted to win, but then having that.
He was there as well. Pete was in that generation. Yeah. Pete actually was on his honeymoon, wasn't he? So he couldn't. Or was it Alex expecting?
No, it was. They were having.
They were having.
I think that's when William was due.
It was William, yeah. So he couldn't play. But you played Castagnet. Talking of playing Castagnet.
What you got, the famous one? Yeah, going back to that Tarek one. That was. I played Tarek. It was like 55 minutes, and I think I won like 11-5, 11-3, 11-7, which to beat someone of Tarek's caliber is.
First on, that set it up. Then I mean, essentially, I was then playing Rami next and knackered.
I knew
before I had a free. It was a free shot then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Completely free shot.
Did well.
So we've spoken to a lot of our guests, and I've been wanting to sneak this into the series somewhere. This rally was unreal. This was in the rallies of the decade, you and Castagnet.
Yeah.
And this was in Windy City. This rally's gone on for about 2 minutes at this point.
But
just talk us through this, because it's just your reaction's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I was 2-love down again. One of those matches. Oh yeah, I've done it so late, and all I want to do is get my racket on the ball. All I want to do is as I see him diving, I'm thinking,
But that boy didn't like it. That boy
he's still fast asleep, proper knackered, isn't he? But he's been watching squash for like 7 hours with his dad. But yeah, like all I wanted to do, I saw him doing such a big dive that instantly in my head, I'm thinking, he's launched himself so far. All I've got to do is get my racket on this on the front wall. Like, don't muck it up. Just get it on the front wall and hit it to the back, because there's no way he's going to get up.
It's good trickle post, that. Look at that. Yeah. There's no way he's
look, and I was not expecting. He like turned and ran before I'd even.
I mean, you were showboating, weren't you? Look at you now. You do like a 360. Look, you give it a little 360.
Yeah, I'm like, go on then. I was thinking in my head, it's like an exhibition. You're like, when you sort of hit it to a point where you think, oh, they're not going to get it, but you just tempt them to get up and try and get it. So I was like, tempt him, go on then, have another sprint, tie yourself out with another full-length sprint. Oh no, he's got it, and he's hit a winner. And that actually, that actually, amazingly, was probably the turning point of the match, because I was massively getting back on top of him from being 2-love down and coming back, and then 6-7, I think I might have won that match, end up losing that, I think. So
So a couple of last squash questions, and I'll get to my little mastermind thing.
Right.
Think about you've spanned a few generations of players now. What do you think is the difference between when you started on the tour and then the way that the game is played now? Some of the players, like this new era of players.
I think the older era of players were a lot more consistent and a lot harder to break down and get. I feel like the players now and the way the game is played lends itself to there being more upsets, and I feel like I've got a chance. Doesn't always happen, of course, but I feel like I've got more of a chance now of beating any of the top 3 or 4 players than maybe when it was before. Like, I just felt like the top 3 or 4 were more consistent, and there's just more opportunities now. But when the top guys get it right, obviously their level is so high, and the pace is is definitely faster. The pace is faster. I wouldn't necessarily say the squash is better. I'd just say it's the pace and the longevity of the pace, which is the difficult part of it. But yeah, you, Greg, Shabana, you got like Palmer, Linker, all those guys that I played against. I played Pete Nick when I was younger, Beach. It just, I don't know, like, just very, maybe because I was younger, but very hard to break down, and just, you knew what you were getting. You knew you were going to get like 9 out of 10 performance every single time. And that's not to say, like, Shabagi's been extremely consistent, and he's someone that
he's cut from that cloth of that kind of mental like era anyway, isn't he? Come from his own background and stuff.
Absolutely.
Like that. Yeah.
But I felt like with some of the top guys before, you could get outplayed the whole match. Whereas with these guys now, Gawad, Tariq, people like that, they give you a chance. They give you a chance.
Yeah, they play open and attacking. So
which is, when they get it right.
Best of 3 as well. You showed that in Canary Wharf.
Absolutely. Best of 3 is a different game changer, really.
Yeah. 2 friends of the pod, Ian Devonport, biggest regret?
Not giving football more of a go.
Okay, moving on. And Ben Welton, plans for retirement?
Yeah, I don't know. Corona's sort of thrown it all up in the air, really.
All the balls up in the air, eh?
Literally, yeah. I don't have necessarily any plans.
Well, you start the Dynamic 7, haven't you? And you're doing you're obviously preparing for what?
Yeah. I have been preparing for like 2 or 3 years, but it's funny. Sponsors Black Knight and Ashaway keep asking me when I'm going to stop, and keep giving me like 1-year contract, and then I keep ringing them up at the end of the season and going, yeah, I think I'm going to carry on for a bit longer. I think the title of the last email to me from Steve from Ashaway was "Old Man Never Dies" or something like that.
They don't want to get rid of you. They want to keep you on.
No, I know.
Right. Mastermind. Daryl Selby.
All righty.
10 questions. Okay. So we didn't touch on probably the third thing, which was golf.
Okay, yeah.
But there's a few questions on golf, so I know you love your golf. What are you playing off these days?
Don't have an official handicap because I'm not a member of a club anymore because of the kids situation, which means I don't have time for as much time for golf. But 5 or 6.
That's good. That's good. And cheeky lefty as well, which is kind of cheating, but
yeah.
Okay, so 3 questions on Liverpool, 3 questions on golf, and then 3 on your squash career, and a wild card to finish.
I love it.
Okay.
It. Just yeah. Okay.
I
hope your answers are right, by the way, because I realised after after the last quiz.
Yeah, I know. Basically, I reckon if we count back over the weeks, I won because
the
questions were wrong.
Definitely check my answers. The last one was embarrassingly wrong. I missed out 5 cities in the US. But anyway, go on. I'm ready.
Okay. Number 1, what year did Liverpool last win the league?
That was 88.
89-90.
Was it?
Come on, it's 30 years, isn't it? What's the name of the road that runs behind the Kop at Anfield?
Well, the other end's at Anfield Road End. The road that runs behind the Kop. Walk down it enough times.
You can come back to it.
All right.
Liverpool's most expensive signing
ever. Virgil,
yeah. How much?
75 mil.
75 on the board.
Got one right.
Well, you can come back to the road. Think about the road in the background. Okay. Moving on to golf. What was the last PGA tournament before lockdown?
Oh my God. Don't know.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you, or do you want to think about that as well?
Yeah.
Arnold Palmer.
Was it? Oh.
Which year was golf's last appearance at the Olympics before 2016?
Oh my God.
You're not doing very well here, Daz.
Oh, questions, mate. I'll give you a card. Yeah, deserved, really. It's been a long time, isn't it?
Long time. I'll give you a clue. It starts with 19.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go, it's just whether it's post-war, pre-war. It must be post-war. Go 50?
Oh, way off. 1904.
Was it? Got the wrong side of the war. That was a bad start. Anyway.
Which war?
Both. All of
them. What's the maximum number of clubs allowed in a golf bag?
14.
Right. Hey, there we go.
I know the rules.
That's 2 you got right.
Blimey.
Right. Onto your squash career. What year did you reach the semi-final of TOC?
I beat Darwish in the first round. He was 4 seed. Then I beat Rosner.
Muller.
Huh?
Beat Muller? No.
Rosner.
Beat
Rosner, and then I thought I was going to be playing Thierry, but Marwan beat him.
You beat him, yeah, because it was the rematch from Rotterdam when you fell out, wasn't it?
Rematch from Rotterdam when we fell out, and then I tucked him up 3-love. That was a nice win, that one.
You played James, didn't you, in the semi?
Yeah, but I had a problem with my foot.
Yeah.
Play great. 2012?
Yes, well done. How many PSA titles have you won?
13.
Yeah, unlucky for some.
Yeah.
When you beat myself in the 2011 Nationals final, what was the score in the 5th?
I think it was 11-7.
Well done. So you got 3 out of 3 on squash.
I'm all right. Yeah, I remember you luckily made a couple of errors at the end.
Yeah, I remember the last one because it was kind of like I hit it and it was one of those ones where it kind of just clipped and the ref kind of didn't call it, and it was like I think we kind of both didn't know, and I just remember the last couple.
Yeah, just back out both clips.
Because I had a thing in my head at that point: if you got match ball down, it was kind of make them win it.
Yeah.
And I remember then, like a couple of errors, but no, you got me to that point, so credit where it's due. So you got out of 9 so far. You got 5 out of 9. Last one.
Come on.
Who Essex question? The only way is Essex.
Yeah.
Who is the highest ranked Essex squash player of all time? The PSA.
Got to be Del Boy, isn't it? Del Harris.
What did Del get to?
Was he 2? Or 3? Or 4? He got to, he definitely got to World's Final, didn't he? He got to World's Final.
Against Janshu in Cyprus, it was. I want to say 96. I'm just guessing.
All right, let's go. Yeah, let's go 2.
Del Harris got to number 5.
5?
Mm.
Chris Walker got higher than that then.
As did Peter Barker.
Yeah.
Chris Walker got to 4.
Willie Walker's the...
Walker.
So, wow. I thought Del was higher than that.
Willie Walker got to 4.
Willie
Walker, a good player.
Very good.
Good player. I made my England debut with Chris, and he spent the whole week getting me. I think this is apprenticeship. He spent the whole week getting me to go and get him water or a chocolate bar or a towel or energy drink. I was basically his lackey for the whole week. So Daryl, 5 out of 10. Not bad.
What was the road name?
Oh yeah, Walton Breck Road.
No, I wouldn't have got that.
You're not going to get that. 5 out of 10. Didn't give you a chance to come back on that one, but thus ends the Wolves quizzing of Bobby the Dazzle. So I'm going to hand over the baton now to you.
Good quizzing.